Soon-to-be Michigan Sports Hall of Fame inductee Mateen Cleaves is joining us on the couch, as we've been talking about. How did you enjoy your stay over there in the Weather Center?
It was cool. It was cool. The Weather Center is cool.
Well, and you're no stranger to broadcasting. What's your current gig? Are you still doing the inside basketball on CBS?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, it's CBS Sports Network and Fox Sports Detroit cover the Pistons. So
that's right.
Everything is good right now. I do radio as well, so I'm trying to stay busy.
But you're keeping it real because you're still a Flintstone. You're still up there.
That's right, Flintstones, man. I love Detroit, but you know I'm a Flintstone, man. You know those are my roots.
Well, this is really cool to be able to sit here and talk to you, because the loudest, I've been to some Pistons playoff games, but the loudest that I have ever heard the Palace was during your march to a championship in the year 2000. I believe it was Syracuse that you beat. And I was sitting right behind the bench, and literally like right behind Coach Izzo, and that place was thunderous. Could you feel it on the floor?
I felt it. I felt it. And we fed off the crowd, and Syracuse, and not only Syracuse, but we beat Iowa State as well.
Iowa State. I was in Chicago when you played that game, and that was crazy.
I threw Mo Pete the alley-oop, and he just dunked it and made me look good as usual. But what great times, man, to be able to play in front of our home fans and, you know, be in the state and be able to get a win was great.
How often do you guys get together?
All the time, all the time. We get together, you know, once or twice in the summer. If we're not together, we're texting and tweeting and calling each other. So very close in that group.
The Spartans have had a couple of near misses on national title runs since you won in 2000 over the last 13 years. What do you think, where they came up short? Why do you think they came up short?
Well, it's hard to win a national championship. I think people take for granted how tough it is to actually win a national championship, but they played some good teams, and just to be there, to have a chance, I think is a great feat, and I think they'll continue to do it. And this year, I think they'll have another chance to try to get another one.
Who's going to go further in the NCAA tournament, the Wolverines or the Spartans?
That's a tough question, because they are both good teams, but it just depends on the draw. You know, who's in whose bracket, who gets hot at the end of March. You know, who knows? But I think both have a chance to actually win a national championship.
Well, you dodged that question so well. You bob and weave.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. A couple of Spartans right here. So talk to me about going into the Michigan Sports Hall of Fame. I mean, your co-inductees, listen to this list: Lomas Brown, Tony Dungy, Mark Howe, Dick Kimball, Pam McGee, Steve Smith, and Tyrone Wheatley. Now, Steve Smith and I were at state at the same time, and he had a team that was pretty good. Those 1990 Spartans were.
He did, and I grew up watching Steve Smith. He was my idol. He's still my mentor to this day, and just to be able to go into the Hall of Fame with Steve Smith, like, come on, man, like, wake me up. Please do. And Steve Smith, Lomas Brown, I'm a big Lions fan, and Tyrone Wheatley, I know he's a Michigan guy, but I grew up watching him run the back, run the football. Pam McGee, she's original Flintstone. Her and her sister were great players, and you know, everybody. And I mean, Tony Dungy, I'm a big fan of his. So just to go into the Hall of Fame is a great feat. But to go in with those great players and great athletes, man, I'm floating on cloud 9 right now.
And you were on cloud 9 when you won the title. Of course, the famous video, you and Coach Izzo watching the screen, and you got tears in your eyes. You see it every spring when March Madness comes around. I mean, do you still get chills when you think about that?
I do. That was the best time of my life. And as a kid, I grew up watching Final Fours with my dad and hanging out, you know, and to be able to go through that and to win a national championship with Coach Izzo. I remember when I was an 18-year-old kid in Flint, Michigan, when he came and knocked on my door, and his sales pitch for one day we're going to win a national championship, and to actually go through it was phenomenal, man, and I'll never forget it for the rest of my life.
Rick, can you cue up one shining moment? If you search YouTube, it should be on there. Before we get to that, though, I want to ask you about being a music impresario. You have a label?
Yeah,
Tell me about it.
I got a label, and I get excited to talk about it because it's a guy named John Connor, and he's a phenomenal artist, and he's going to be big time. Trust me, his name is John Connor, and he's opened up for artists as Big Sean, had the show at the Palace, and I mean, he's been on all type of networks, magazines, but he has the work ethic. He has the it factor. I don't know what it is, who knows, but he has it, and I think he's going to be a mega star, and I'm going to continue to push him, you know, and sit back and get some of those Grammys, you know, one of these days.
What do you think it is that such a collection of talent came out of Flint at the same time? Going back even further, I mean, Glenn Rice, I mean, who is the current kid in Flint that you think could, you know, make it big time?
Well, the kid right now, and in Michigan as a whole, because I never just say Flint, but Michigan got a lot of talent. But the kid right now is a kid named Monte Morris out of Flint Beecher. He signed to go to Iowa State, and he's going to be a big-time player. We're excited about him.
All right. Rick, do you have one shining moment? It's floating. Okay. We're going to try and do a little thing there where you and I got emotional about the Spartans.
Yeah, you were trying to make me cry. Yeah, that's what you were doing. Yeah, I knew what you was doing. That's
trying.
my song.
I was trying. Do we have it? Is that what we're hearing right now? Okay, here we go. Now, can we get a close-up of the team? Okay. Can you hear the music? It's playing.
Oh, yeah, I can hear it.
It's okay, man. Let it out.
The ball is tipped.
The ball is tipped.
And there you are.
Oh, man, this is the best. This is the best. This is what college basketball is all about. You have to love this song.
Okay, you might get a tight shot. Yeah. Can you wipe that tear out of your eye?
Right. Man, I'm just thinking about Coach Izzo, Low Key, catching lives. Like, what a time, and that's the best time, man. I really enjoyed it.
Good stuff. Monty and Cleves, it was a real pleasure to have you here.
Oh, man, my honor, man.
Here you see it, Monday, February 18th, this coming Monday, 5 to 9:30, Max Fisher Music Hall, Music Center, Orchestra Hall. That's where the induction will take place. All of the information is on our website. Now we have our director, Alan, has requested a song for going to break. What was the song again, Alan? Okay, all right. We're going to have to play that later in the show. We're going to table it. CBS, one shining moment to the break.